technology, innovation, sustainability, and health. Welcome our dignitaries to join us on the stage. Please, sir. Sir, I request Dr. Ravi Jodhpur, Organizing Secretary in AMIFOST 2025, to the dais to present their welcome address. Good morning, everyone. It's my absolute pleasure to welcome you all to the International Conference 8th AMIFOST 2025 on the future of food science and technology, innovations, sustainability, and health, organized by Amity Institute of Food Technology, Amity University, Uttar Pradesh, Noida. I, on behalf of the organizing team of 8th AMIFOST, welcome this incredible gathering of experts and passionate participants, all united by a shared goal. We are honored to have our chief guest, distinguished bureaucrat, Mr. Siraj Hussain, IAS, Advisor Food Processing, FICCI, and Former Secretary, Ministry of Food Processing Industries and Department of Agriculture and Cooperation, Government of India. And we are also fortunate to have our keynote speaker, Dr. Manfred Bushal, Managing Director, Competent Zentrum, Oscar Bovensi from Chennai. We welcome you, sir, to this conference. Your insights will be invaluable to the discussion of the conference. We would also like to welcome our dynamic leaders, respected Honorable Vice Chancellor Professor Balwinder Shuklama, who is about to join us, and Dr. W. Silvamurthy, President, Amity Science and Technology and Innovation Foundation, and Director General, Amity Directorate of Science and Innovation, Amity University, Noida. Under your guidance and support, and with the blessings of Honorable Founder President, Sir, and Honorable Chancellor, Sir, we are motivated to organize this conference. Over the next 2 days, we will engage in insightful discussions, exchange groundbreaking ideas, and explore innovative solutions that will shape the future of food industry. We are privileged to have a distinguished lineup of speakers, panelists, and contributors who will share their expertise and inspire us with their knowledge and experiences. This event is not just about learning, it's also about connecting. Let's make this a productive and engaging event where we can share knowledge, learn from each other, and build connections. I would like to extend my deepest gratitude to our sponsors and organizing team for their dedication and making this event a success. Without your hard work and commitment, none of this would be possible. So, let's make the most of the incredible opportunity. We are confident that this conference will be a great success, and we look forward to a productive and enjoyable 2 days of this conference. Welcome once again. Thank you, ma'am. I request Selvamurthy sir to kindly offer a bouquet of flowers to our respected chief guest, Shiraj Hussain sir, IES Advisor Food Processing, FICCI, former Secretary, Ministry of Food Processing Industries and Department of Agriculture and Cooperation, Ministry of Agriculture, Government of India. Thank you, sir. I extend my request to our HOS sir to kindly welcome Selvamuthi sir with a bouquet of flowers. I request our dignitaries to kindly join us for the lighting of lamp. I request Divya Sir Sangeeta ma'am to be on the stage, sir. Thank you.
Good, I can see me at the moment.
I request Neha ma'am to come on the stage. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. I welcome our Head of Institute, Professor Dr. V.K. Modi, to kindly introduce the conference theme.
Good morning. Most respectful Founder President Dr. Ashok Chauhan ji, Chancellor Sir Dr. Atul Chauhan ji, Honorable Vice Chancellor Madam Dr. Balwinder Shukla, respected Shri Shiraj Hussain, the IAS Advisor Food Processing FICCI and former Secretary Ministry of Food Processing, is our chief guest of our today's conference, and Dr. Manfred, Managing Director Competu Jutorum. It's very difficult to pronounce the institute name. It's in German. Today is our keynote address speaker, respected Dr. A.K. Tyagiji, Executive Director, Haldiram Group Companies, guest of our honor. He has stuck up with some meeting. He may join at any time. Respected Dr. Salvamurthy Sir, President ASTIF, MIT University. My dear dignitaries, distinguished guests, colleagues, participants, delegates, and students. It gives me a great pleasure to extend a very warm welcome personally and on behalf of MIT Institute of Food Technology to welcome most respected Honorable Founder President Sir, Dr. Ashok Chauhan ji, for taking time off from your busy schedule to join this conference, 7th AMIFOST. He is online. Sir, your all priceless thoughts always keep us in front of to conduct national or international events time to time. We welcome you, sir. It's my pleasure and privilege to welcome our chief guest, Shri Shiraj Hussain ji, IAS Advisor Food Processing FICCI, former Secretary Ministry of Food Processing, Government of India. It's an honor for us, sir, has accepted our invitation with just one call to be a chief guest for today's conference. We welcome you, sir. It's my pleasure to welcome today's keynote speaker, Dr. Manfred from German, and our guest of honor, Dr. Tyagiji, Executive Director, Haldiram Group of Companies, Noida. I am especially honored to welcome Professor Balwinder Shukla, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Madam, Amity University, for taking time off her busy schedule to join this important inaugural function. She is busy again with another parallel conference is going on, but she will join at any time now. Madam, your all guidance and encouragements always keep us active to do more and more. We welcome you, Madam. It's given me a great pleasure to extend a very warm welcome to our respected Dr. W. Salvamurthy sir, President, MIT Science, Technology and Innovation Foundation, for joining this important event. Sir, you are always keep us encouraging from time to time. We welcome you, sir. And I welcome to all our industry partners, dignitaries, guests, participants, colleagues, and dear students who are with us to make this conference a great success. To initiate with today's event, let us have a light on the theme of the subject of the conference. Food is essential for our survival. It nourishes us and reflects our culture, economy, and progress. As we face challenges like climate and food insecurity, new developments in food science and technology are more important to understand. In this conference, we will explore the cutting-edge innovations that are transforming how we produce, process, and consume food. Technologies like precision techniques, lab-grown meat, and artificial intelligence are reshaping the food industry, offering new solutions to age-old problems. We will examine how these innovations not only increase efficiency, but also hold the promises of reducing environmental impact and improving public health. Sustainability is a key pillar of our discussion. With a growing global population, developing sustainable food system is crucial. Reducing food waste, using eco-friendly practices, and improving supply chain transparency are essential. Through collaborations and innovations, we can create a future where food production meets the need of both people and the planet. Equally important is the role of food science in promoting health and well-being. Advances in nutrition science and enabling us to develop functional foods that prevent diseases and improve quality of life. The future of food is not just the responsibility of any one sector. It is collectively aim that requires cooperation across academia, industry, and policies. In closing, let us remember that the innovations we discussed today have the potential to shape the world for generations to come. Together we can build a future where food is not only abundant and accessible, but also sustainable and nourishing for all. Thank you for being here, and I look forward to inspiring conversations ahead. Let us begin this journey into the future of food science and technology. With this, I wish all delegates a successful deliberations. Once again, I convey my highest regard to all the blessings us to organize this conference. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I welcome to dais Dr. W. Salvamurthy, sir, President, Amity Science, Technology and Innovation Foundation, Director General, Amity Directorate of Science and Innovation, Amity University, Uttar Pradesh, India. Sir has served Defense Research and Development Organization, Government of India for 40 years, in which all the health-related and life science-related technologies were developed and inducted in the armed forces for keeping the health and efficiency of soldiers even in extreme operational environments. He is a member of high-powered committee appointed by Indian Council of Medical Research (ICMR) to review its 12th plan proposal and chairman of Technology Commercialization Committee of ICMR. He has published more than 250 research papers in journal of repute, including 18 books. He has presented our country at the Organization for Prohibition of Chemical Weapons at the Conference of State Parties, Executive Council, Working Group and Confidentiality Commission. TFAC has entrusted the responsibility of Technology Vision Health 2035 to Sarvamurthy Sir as chairman to formulate vision for nation for health and medical sciences in the year 2035. In recognition of his significant contribution to biomedical research and development, he has been awarded several prestigious research awards, including CSIR National Award for Science and Technology Innovations, presented by Honorable Prime Minister of India, Technology Leadership Award by DRDO, presented by Defense Minister, Lifetime Achievement Award Honorable President of India in the field of clinical and preventive. I welcome you, sir, for your kind words. Thank you, sir, for joining us.
So, friends, very good morning to everyone of you. Good morning. That's good. So, I'm so delighted to be here at the 8th edition of AMIFOST. This is being annually done by Amity Institute of Food Technology, Dr. V.K. Modi, with his dynamic the leadership given to all the faculties. And there are many people sitting on the dais, Monica, and we have Amity Institute of Organic Agriculture, Sangeeta Pandey, and all the very distinguished faculties of Amity Institute of Food Technology and the students, brilliant students. So we are so happy that you are holding the tradition of organizing annually this very important international conference under AMIFOST. So I welcome each and every one of you on behalf of Founder President Dr. Ashok Chauhan and the Chancellor Dr. Atul Chauhan, and on behalf of everyone from Amity family, all the participants who have joined in person and who will be joining in other sessions, and also who are online, who have joined us online from different campuses, different universities, different institutions, including our guest of honor from Germany, who is going to address. So I welcome each and every one of you. Today we have a very distinguished the chief guest. I just had an opportunity of interacting with him briefly, but I was able to see the phenomenal contributions he has made in this sector, the food security. He has contributed immensely. He's a thought leader, and he is an IAS officer, but then he's a technocrat. I will not call him a bureaucrat. I will call him technocrat, because he has been the Vice Chancellor of Hamdard University, one of the top universities for health and allied sciences. And this is an institution which has made a mark in terms of ranking, accreditation, contributions in the biomedical domains. So he has headed that institution. He has also been Secretary of the Ministry of Food Processing. He has been the Secretary of Ministry of Agriculture. So such a great leader who is from the administrative civil services, the IAS cadre, but then he has been transformed into a technocrat, because the way he writes articles, some of them he has just forwarded. I will get to read this, I will certainly read and then assimilate whatever he has generated thought, particularly now with regard to the tariff, where the Trump's administration is now giving trade restrictions, trade tariffs. So he has written an article recently, just recently he has sent that. So such a great leader is here today as chief guest. So we are all very eagerly looking forward to you, Mr. Siddha Hussain, for your address and also your thought-provoking ideas which you will give it to our students, faculties, and all the participants in this 8th edition of the AMIFOST. And we are also joined by another very great leader, an industry leader, and he is Dr. Manfred Buchele. He is the managing director of a company in Germany, and he's going to address you very soon. And we welcome you. Sorry that we held you for some time because there was another event which both Dr. Modi and myself were held up. So we seek your forbearance for keeping you waiting for some time. And so welcome to you, Dr. Manfred. Now, coming to the theme of this international conference, which is very important, the future of food science and technology, and the topic which we are going to focus on innovations, sustainability, and health. So the focal theme is future of food science and technology because you people are the future. Because India has got the demographic advantage of 50% of the people of 1.42 billion people below the age of 25 years. So this is a great asset. This is you. So that is why the future, we are looking at the future, not only the present, but the future. And so that is what is going to be deliberation. So I would request each and every student, you are the future, so you have to be very watchful. All the deliberations, every word spoken by our experts who are going to address you, which are chosen by Dr. Modi, B.K. Modi and his team. And so you make use of these opportunities. This is how you grow. This is how you expand your horizon of knowledge, understanding, and also you develop a vision for your life and career. So that is why your participation is important. The conference is for you. And I'm sure you will understand that. So now coming to Amity Institute of Food Technology, Dr. Ashok K. Chauhan, the founder president, who has established the whole Amity universe today, which is 12 independent universities in India, 18 campuses abroad, 28 schools. We have 250,000 students, 10,000 faculties, 5,000 PhD scholars. So all that, what this mission for, not to only keep expanding the numbers of university. The mission is how do we churn out the future global citizens who are endowed with knowledge, including spiritual knowledge, skills including soft skills, good behavior, sanskars, values, resilience to face challenges. So this is the mission. We are grooming you to be the future global citizens. And you will in turn create a happy, healthy, peaceful, harmonious, prosperous world for everyone. So that is why the mission of Amity is to create that Satyug and create that happy world. So I welcome each and every one of you in this mission. And now the country has got a big vision. The Honorable Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi ji, has given a big vision. Viksit Bharat. Viksit Bharat is developed India. So if it has to be a developed India, there are three important dimensions. One is you need to be a strong economic power, military power, knowledge power. So these are the three facets, three dimensions in which a nation should develop if it has to become Viksit Bharat. We are today a strong economic power. We are fifth largest economy today in the world. We have overtaken many countries in Europe and Japan, and now we are moving towards the number three position soon. And $5 trillion economy we are going to achieve very early, very soon. And then every year we will add $1 trillion to our GDP. So you can imagine by 2047, when we are celebrating 100th year of independence, we will have achieved a GDP growth size and GDP size of $37 trillion. So that is going to be our country. So we are an economic power. FDI flowing in, Sensex soaring up. All this is an indication that ours is a powerful economy. The second is military power. We are strong military power. Today we have 1.5 million strong Army, Navy, Air Force personnel. And we have our own indigenous systems like missiles, aircraft, radar, sonars, torpedoes, CBR and defense technologies, life support technologies for soldiers. So today we are a strong military power with self-reliance of a great order. Then the third one is knowledge power. We have 1,200 universities and we have 45,000 colleges, more than 45,000 colleges. We have lakhs of schools. So we are churning out the knowledge workers. We are creating knowledge through research and innovation. That is why we have reached third position in publications, seventh position in Nature Index, which indicates the quality of publication. And also in the IPR, intellectual property rights, patents, we are number 9. World Innovation Index, we have moved from 81 to 39 position. So these are all indications that we are emerging as a knowledge power. So if Viksit Bharat has to happen, food security is the foremost. Primordial requirement is food security. So this food security, our country at the time of independence was a begging bowl, waiting for food to come from a developed country, waiting for the ship loaded with wheat to come from through PL 480 from USA. So that country is today self-reliant in food, whether it is cereals, pulses, and horticulture produce, sugar cane, medicinal plants, you name anything. We are in top 3 or top 5 at the back, even poultry, fisheries, everywhere we are in top 3 or top 5 position. But then what we need is the productivity to enhance. So this is our focus in the agri vision is how do you enhance productivity. So Viksit Bharat must ensure not only food security, nutritional security is just not only produce the food, but people should consume. They should have the ability to buy and consume. So that is what is the focus on sustainable agriculture. And this sustainable agriculture will look into all the how do you minimize the use of fertilizers, pesticides, how do you get into organic farming. So that is why we have Amity Institute of Organic Farming. And we have Amity Institute of Food Science and Technology. And we have Amity Institute of Horticulture and Research. We have Amity Center for the Post-Harvest Management Technologies. So all that Amity has created, Dr. Ashok Chauhan, that's why we call him visionary. When we established Amity University in 2005 here in Noida, he thought of all these institutions, which is doing a tremendous job. Now, coming to Amity's contribution in this food and agriculture sector, I'll mention briefly, and because this will be an opportunity for everybody to know. See, Amity has focused on how do you enhance productivity per hectare. Because production, we are in top 3 or top 5. So that is where we are using microbial technology. We are using Puriforma spora indica, which is a root endophyte, which gives protection against the abiotic stress. So thereby improving the tolerance to abiotic stress like low water availability, high temperature, low temperature, salinity of the soil, alkalinity of the soil. So this gives protection against that. It's a plant growth promoter. So this we have given to 8 industries, including one in Taiwan, which is Sainon Corporation, and 7 Indian industries have taken. They are marketing it today. So a product developed by Amity, the rootonics, we call it as drug name is rootonics, root tonic. So that is what is the root endophyte. So this is one product. So we are looking at the productivity. Then we are also looking at the biocontrol of plant disease and disease management. Instead of getting into pesticides, how do we control using trichoderma and using also nematodes? How do you kill the pathogen, the agricultural pathogens? So another focus is on biocontrol and plant disease management. Then the third one is on biofortification, because our soil is deficient in some trace elements, micronutrients like zinc, for example. So we have looked at how do you help to fortify zinc through the plants foliage penetration through the leaves. How do you allow this zinc to get into the plant physiology and integrate themselves into that? So biofortification is another domain. Then we are looking at post-harvest. After having produce, how do you manage the post-harvest loss? Because our country has 20 to 30% post-harvest loss. So we have 3 technologies developed: zero energy cooling chamber, where the farmer has to make a double wall brick structure, put a husk over it, and then keep the water dripping at the air space in between the 2 layers of the brick wall. Then the chamber temperature comes down by 10 degrees, which a farmer can create in the field itself. So zero energy cooling chamber, which we have replicated in many states. Then we have also done a sensor development, which is AMICOOL. This is a sensor. If you want to store it wherever electricity is available, you create a chamber and then optimize the electricity consumption by using the sensor, which measures the differential temperature between ambient temperature and what the temperature you desire inside the chamber, where you want to keep the horticulture produce. So this is also AMICOOL's second development. Third, in post-harvest, we have looked at the MCP1, which is a reversible blocking agent for ethylene. Ethylene receptors in blocks, so thereby delaying the ripening of the fruits. So we have done in papaya, we have done in banana, we have done in mangoes, So mangoes is the season now. So this very successfully, we were able to increase 3 weeks. The shelf life goes up by reversible ethylene blocking. So these are some of the contributions in post-harvest. Now, how do you double the income of the farmer? Which Prime Minister keeps telling that we should double the income so that the welfare of the farmers is taken care of. For which we have again contributed by using agrivoltaic, first time in the country, and solar farms we have created in this campus itself. We have put in a 0.25 acre of land at the periphery, the photovoltaic, 30 of them, and each one gives about 400 watts, and you get 12 kilowatt, and then 2 kilowatt the farmer can use it, and 10 kilowatt he puts it in the grid. So he gets a double income, one from the field, the crop, the other one from the solar farming. So this is what is Amity's research, and we have also made an Amity Agri Vision. Next 25 years, what Amity should be doing in agriculture and food. We have created a very good vision document. Please read that. Then finally, the Amity Institute of Food Technology. We are looking at the exotic and futuristic food technology, food preservation, biopreservation of food, and also making different food technologies besides the retard process and also the cold freeze, dry freeze, all this, they are looking at various food technology processing and also field processing like tomatoes. How do you convert them into a value-added product? So they have done the methods to convert it into a beverage, to convert them into a pickle, and also to convert them into a paste, so which can be used later. So this type of research is happening in Amity in the agriculture and food sector. Compliments to Dr. Modi, all the team in the agricultural institutes, including Sujata, Durgesh, and every one of you who are sitting here. Best wishes, and students, the future is you, because this theme is future, the future of food science and technology. Now we should look at what are the, can you use artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, drone technologies. So how do you bring in our Indian ecosystem where there are small and marginal farmers? So how do you integrate them to give that kind of technology intervention to increase the productivity? So you should look at those. And today, remote sensing images from the drones, it can indicate the plant health monitoring, crop health monitoring. So all this is possible using technologies. That is what we are going to deliberate in the next 2 days. And best wishes to Dr. Modi. Once again, my appreciation to you. And I'm sure you'll all enjoy. We are going to be enriched by the deliberations from the experts. And best wishes to each and every one of you. We will be eagerly looking forward to the outcome. Well, Dr. Chauhan, for all the president says, every event must have a sustainable outcome. So what is that sustainable outcome emerging from this conference? And also the recommendations, concrete recommendations. What is the future? Where do the minds, the trajectories in which Amity and the participants should launch programs should emerge out of this conference and will come out of this. That is how he has structured the whole program. And we will be eagerly looking forward to the outcome. Best wishes, and thank you for every one of you.
Thank you, sir, for such an enlightening words. We have been joined online with our keynote speaker, Dr. Manfred Buchele, Managing Director, Kompetenzentrum Obstable Bonsi, Germany. Having PhD in Agricultural Science, Sir had been officer and head of department, Animal Production Government Administration since 2001. Sorry, sir. And then again, I welcome the keynote speaker, Dr. Manfred Buchele, Managing Director, Kompetenzentrum Obstable Bonsi, Germany. Having PhD in Agricultural Science, Sir had been officer and head of department, Animal Production, Government Administration. Since 2001, Sir is a consulting member in Administrative Department of Ministry of Rural Area, Stuttgart. Sai is also a chairperson within project steering committees and member of managing committees of farmers and food marketing organization. He has also been a consulting member in administrative department at Sternberg. He has also delivered lectures in the farm management for food production and food marketing at University of Copenhagen. Presently, Sai is a managing director in the Zentrum Ashtabadwansi, a research institute organized as non-profit foundation under Public in Food Production. Thank you, Sai, for joining us from Germany.
Good morning to everybody. I'm audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Okay, thank you very much. So, dear Dr. Reino Kedar and dear Professor Roki Modi from MIT Institute, dear President and Director General Dr. Selva Murthy and dear Vice Chancellor Professor Balwinder Shukla, dear Mr. Sirai Hussain from the Indian Ministry of Agriculture, and dear guest of honor Dr. A.K. Tachi, Aldiran Group of Companies, dear Dr. Ashok Chauhan and Dr. Monica Thakur, esteemed dignitaries and professors, fellow scientists and aspiring students, scientists and students, ladies and gentlemen in the auditorium and around the world joining via the internet like me. First of all, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to the organizers for inviting me as the keynote speakers to your international conference on the future of food, science and technology, innovations, sustainability and health. It is a great honor for me to be able to address you at the opening of the event. Unfortunately, I cannot personally attend this conference as I'm in the midst of the budget negotiations for the coming year and preparing for the start of the apple trial season. Yet the blossom is outside is about to begin, making my presence here in our institute urgently necessary. Since I cannot meet you in person, I would like to share a few words about our research station, about myself and our institute. You are kindly invited to have a look to our homepage and feel free to contact, as we at the moment we have 4 students and PhD students from India in our institute. My name is Manfred Büchler. I'm an agricultural economist and therefore I view the agricultural world from the perspective of the ever fascinating agricultural markets and their development, as well as microeconomically in terms of farmers' income opportunities for the rural populations, especially since I grew up as a farmer's son on a food production farm in southern Germany. It was always important for me, how can the people in the country earn their money and their livelihood by providing food to the people. For the past 25 years, I've been the director on the Experimental Station and Research Institute for Pomology in southern Germany. We are a semi-public institution organized under private law. On the one hand, the Experimental Station maintains a strong connection with German horticulture universities in the basic research. This is important for us to obtain the newest result in the high-end research in horticulture. We draw impulses and expertise from the academic world, from scientists, and then work to translate these insights into the practical applications for the fruit farmers and the fruit industry through field days, reports, joint projects with the farmers, and through our consulting organization. In this way, we function as, let's say, the missing link between university and science on one side, and on the other side, the fruit industry and farmers in research and advisory. For us, the success is the immediate transfer of knowledge to the farmers, because the farmers are those who have to apply our new technology. And if the farmers get not close to our knowledge, our research is not helpful because nobody will use it. A third area involves the industry guests with agriculture product goods. because they're providing the goods which are needed, like new varieties, new pesticides, and new software, and what all is needed nowadays in the pharma production. We test the products so that the farmers can objectively assess their quality. A lot of, let's say, companies, some companies approach to farmers with their products not in favor for the farmers, but in favor from their own money pocket. And our farmers are asking us, how can we be sure that what we are buying for with our hard-earned money for our benefits. So we very much enjoy working internationally on projects with scientists from all around the globe. We have a project with India. We have very close connections to Brazil and Turkey and other countries around the world. And of course, inside the European Union, which is more or less Europe is coming together, is hopefully in the future one nation. So let me now return to the conference, to your topics. The most important aspect of such conferences, beyond the poor exchange of scientific results and interesting approaches, scientific methods and data, is the personal encounter among the participants, which fosters the generation of new ideas and the growth of new relationships and opportunities for collaboration and mutual enrichment. Looking over the broadly structured agenda, I see quite interesting thematic areas that addresses the challenges in food production of our time. Well, these challenges are essentially the same challenges as they were 20 years, 100 years, or even 2000 years ago. This central theme has accompanied human history throughout all times, but come along in different modern, more science-based way now. How will the harvest be? Will there be enough food for everyone? We know all when the food supply for the population is not enough, it results in suffering and death, often leading to further misery, crime, revolutions, and war. As Bob Marley once said, a hungry man is an angry man, and this is the truth. And we have to feed the people every day. Therefore, I would like to share something positive in the starting of the conference with all of you. We, agriculture scientists and food processing scientists, we can say that we have brought much peace to the world and we have reduced suffering. Sometimes one must also praise oneself in order to gather the motivation to continue our work. It makes sense what we do. This is especially for the students in the audience. You are working in a science area which brings a lot of benefit to the world, and sometimes we have to face this to help us to go forward. The research activities in agriculture and nutritional science have considerably combated hunger and misery up to now. Just one figure. When I was born some years ago, there were 3 billion people living on the earth. Today, there are over 8 million people. And the biggest share of these people, or the nation with the biggest population, is India. So it concerns also to your great nations. And I have my biggest respect for the contribution from you, coming from your nation to fight against hunger. So yet, through the efforts and successes of science, we have pushed back hunger. In the first half of the last century, hunger was a mass problem. Many foodstuffs were poor, spoiled, hygienically questionable, and unhealthy, but they were better than nothing. Despite setbacks, we have managed to globally reduce the World Hunger Index. In 2000, about 50% of the world's population suffered from chronic hunger. In 2023, so 2 years ago, it was half. It was around 8 to 9%. Still too much, but it's a success. Particularly in Asia and Latin America, the nutritional situation has improved. Today, the causes of hunger are more often related to armed conflicts, but this is beyond our control as agronomists. Our pride in what we have achieved does not mean that we should sit back. the opposite. I mention it to give you, especially young people, the young students in the audience, to give them courage and motivation. As we say, it is possible if we are reasonable and act in solidarity around the world. And we will promise, at least from our side, we will not give up. It's a proverb in our area, don't give up. The success is more encouragement to go on than to set back. At this conference, some of the challenges of the coming times will be addressed, most of them. The focus varies across different regions. In a publication, of course, it's a different as when we talk in Europe or in the United States or in Southern America or Africa, but we are fighting in the same area and it's of the field. In a publication by the Fraunhofer Society, it's one of the German 5 flagship research promotion organizations, which engage a lot of projects. Trends are described that will influence the European food sector until 2035. These trends include topics such as indoor farming, important, closer to the cities more and more, precision farming to reduce to optimize the farming, automatization, the market power of retailers, which is a real problem for our farmers in Europe, especially in Germany. Only 5 retailer chains are ruling the market, and we have to bring something in the market power against them. The topics of functional food, the reduction of food waste, the 3D printing of food, plant-based meat substitutes, as we have still consuming lots of meats, and we have the topic of that of killing animals, which is more, especially for young people, more and more an issue. The optimization of value change, remote machine operation, food and health market conversation, and many others. These are consistently important and interesting future topics, and you are addressing them for sure also in your conference. But there are also issues centered on, these are issues which are often centered on a more, let's say, on affluent, rich societies, which at times are very costly and investment-intensive approaches, and they are not always, and not at all, a solution for our farmers and the same for your farmers, because these are high-end topics which are important to learn about, but on the other side, I'm sure we have to keep also in mind that we have still farmers in our area, in lands and in your lands, which are working daily with other problems. So these topics I mentioned, they will determine food production of the future, which in part one might not even want to call agriculture anymore, because inside building production of food is not related to the, let's say, old-fashioned land-related way of production. Still, they are important. We are currently holding this conference in India, and so India has very much wealthy people and is a quite modern society that addresses these topics. But along, as I said, I would like to come to the, let's say, more practice-oriented sciences, which we are following in our research station. This practice-oriented science works closely with real-world applications and recognizes current issues in the simple everyday agriculture in many regions. I see also the urgent need for further development and research in what we might call the basic sector. And I would like to mention some of these topics which are approached in our institutes. These are topics that, based on my brief visits of your beautiful country, seem also to be central in your country. Foremost, it is climate change and its effects on current ecosystems and production methods. We need resilient, drought-resistant, adapted crop varieties and production methods. At our research station, we are addressing issues such as fruit maturity, optimization of irrigation, because water will get lack. Energy saving, energy is the theme of our centuries, and the covering of crops with agri PV systems, for instance, for energy generation and crop protection to counter the negative developments of climate change. Because energy, as I said, is important out in the countryside and will be the future challenge. Next, the topic of plant protection. Pests continue to be our increasingly formidable adversaries. It is estimated that 30% of the production worldwide is destroyed by animal pests. 30%. They are all our enemies. And when it goes to the, let's say, the plate of food. With rising temperatures, the population dynamics of insects will intensify. A more humid climate increases fungal pressure, and viruses threaten the monocultures that are necessary for economic reasons. Currently, for instance, the Hualongbing virus is causing enormous losses in orange production, and the TR4 is affecting bananas, along with several grain diseases that are increasingly resistant to conventional plant protection agents. At our institute, we work to prevent damage to plants with simultaneously reducing the negatively environmental impact of plant protection chemicals. This is also a very important issue on the other side. We have to protect our environment. So at the same time, the issue of plant protection is intertwined with biodiversity. In many regions in Germany, but all in the world, we are witnessing a significantly decline in biodiversity. Even though discussions about the causes too often focus solely on plant protection and exclude other aspects, we must take greater responsibility in the selection and application of plant protection agents and provide users with better options. And there are modern options which are helpful. As an example, in our research station, we are working on apple varieties resistant to the most important fungal diseases, like there are Venturia nigralis, and a reduction in fungicide use by 50% or more is possible by this way. This is saving money for the farmer and is helping to protect the environment. Even in the particularly critical area of insecticides, we can achieve more positive impact through modern means of integrated production, including forecasting programs, which needs artificial intelligence in the future, by monitoring what is present in the fields. We only have to fight insects which are present and not applying insecticides for insects which are not there. Just saving money and saving biodiversity. And using more targeted active ingredients, using pheromones and all these things to put all these means together to reduce the impacts of our production. A transition to organic farmer, which is also an important issue in our research station. We are about 50% of our farm is run in an organic way, and we are the biggest farm the biggest research station for agriculture, for organic apple production. A transition to organic farming, which is practiced by the consumers in Germany, is now, in my view, not a remedy for every problem in agriculture, as it is pronounced often in public opinion in Germany. It's not a panacea, it's a smaller share of the market. The inevitably reduced organic production volumes will not be sufficient to feed the people. The products will become expensive and not affordable for poor people, and the carbon footprints may be worse. So, nonetheless, we should take impulses from this production methods, so this is what we are doing, which does not solely rely on conventional plant protection chemicals and forever develop it. We have to bring these both sides of production methods together. In India, there's often, as I heard, and I've visited India in January, there's even a more precisely defined shift toward natural farming, solutions to the problems of conventional production methods are eagerly awaited. So this is, of course, an important area of research which is absolutely necessary to prevent our nature. Another topic, reducing food waste and losses due to the inadequate post-harvest treatments are also issues that contribute significantly to improve supply and a lower impact of food production. Worldwide, a considerable share of the production of the produced fruits and vegetables spoil due to insufficient storage conditions. At our experimental station, we optimize and advise producers on the storage conditions for various types of fruits and vegetables. With improved technology, up to 50% of energy can be saved, and the quality can be maintained for a much longer period to serve the market with own grown, in Germany, grown fruits, which did not have to be imported from outside. The conference will also address topics such as nutrition, health, and functional food. We know that what we consume influences our health. However, we do not always follow reasons, but often our desires. We know all. My young children, when given educational advice about healthy foods, often said that healthy means does not taste good. But they learn that, and we all have to learn that what we eat is we put inside, and it will affect us. Even in this area, we have made great progress. While last century the focus was on spoiled, pathogen-laden, and qualitatively questionable foods, today our discussions are entirely different. I would like to give an example of why we also need applied science and even trivial publications. We need more the serious voice of science to educate and inform the people in our nations. In Germany, in the public debate, the fruit sector, the fruit industry, is always or often brought together in the debate. The danger of pesticide residues is widely discussed. However, in the fruit sector, we fundamentally often positively perceive healthy fruit products. An apple a day, keep the doctor away. Where is it? I wanted to harm myself through food, there are better ways. So what we should not do is eat too much fat, especially animal fat, eat too much sweet, eat too much salty. Then we may end in problem in cardiovascular diseases, diabetes, and high blood pressures. But these discussions about pesticide residues are largely driven by emotions, and emotions are powerful, sometimes especially effective in sales promotion or in advancing political interests, but they should not determine the outcomes of the scientific world. So harnessing, and in your conference it is addressed, harnessing nanobiology in agri-food industry is also surely of great interest. The new technology can be used in many ways, areas mentioned, but be it in breeding, plant protection, fertilization, or in the downstream areas of quality maintenance, food safety, and shelf life. Science creates sustainable facts, and we are seeking new, healthier products with better protein content, lower allergenic substances, and fewer ethical concerns regarding the environmental impacts. Here too, there are vast fields of application and opportunity for exchange and collaborations between university and in these conferences. Therefore, I congratulate the organizer on this trend-setting conference, and I wish all the participants good encounters with a fruitful exchange and many new insights for their research in their own institutes. And as I mentioned, you are invited to join us in Germany, in our homepage or personally. Thank you for your kind listening, and good luck for the conference.
Thank you, sir, for sparing time and joining us for the inaugural session from Germany. I extend my gratitude to welcome our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Ma'am, Professor Dr. Balwinder Shukla, Professor of Entrepreneurship, Leadership and IT. Renowned for her multifaceted insights, humility, and exceptional leadership skills, she has left an indelible mark on the educational landscape. Ma'am embodies the perfect blend of Indian ingenuity and global expertise. Her visionary leadership has elevated Amity University to new heights in knowledge creation, innovation, and industrial engagement. She is an astute architect of a unique flexi framework that includes flexi choice-based credit system, outcome-based education, and education 4.0. Besides this, she has been instrumental in aligning the learning outcomes and operational outcomes with strategic plan of the university. Her contributions are widely acclaimed and recognized with numerous prestigious awards and honors. Some of the recent ones: Sushma Swaraj Sri Shakti Samman Award in 2024, Excellence in Entrepreneurship Development Award, Academic Leadership Award, Excellent Contribution to Education Sector Award, Vice Chancellor of the Year Award, and Lifetime Achievement Award. National Distinguished Vice Chancellor Award. I welcome you, ma'am. I request our HR sir to kindly welcome ma'am for the inaugural session.
I'm honored to extend a warm welcome to our respected Vice Chancellor, Madam Professor Dr. Balvinder Shukla. And it's a great honor for us, and it's a very happy occasion for us, and which that Madam could get some time to address us, and her blessings are always gives us a more energy only. So we welcome you, Madam, and your all guidance and encouragement always keep us to do more and more. We welcome you, Madam.
Thank you very much, Dr. Modi. Our most respected Honorable Founder President, sir, Honorable Chancellor, our Honorable Chief Guest, Mr. Siraj Hussain, IAS Advisor Food Processing, FICCI, former Secretary of MO, FPI and Department of Agriculture and Corporations, Ministry of Agriculture, a very dear friend, Dr. A.K. Tyagi ji, Executive Director, Haldiram Group of Companies, and our special guest, Dr. Manfred Muchle, the Managing Director of Competent Gem from Obstobai from Germany, who has just now addressed the audience. My colleagues, Dr. Silva Murthy, Dr. Modi, and all the faculty members, participants, delegates. First of all, I would like to congratulate Dr. Modi and his entire team for putting up such a wonderful international conference on future of food science and technology, innovation, sustainability, and health. The food has become so important that a lot of research is being done in this area, and I'm sure that this event of International Conference on Future of Food Science and Technology will be focusing on various researches, on various new technologies which are being developed, that how to first save the grain from field to fork in that value chain. Secondly, how to ensure the nutrition of the food for the good health. And the Viksit Bharat mission, the vision which is for the Viksit Bharat to make India Viksit by 2047 is very clearly specified the Bharat as the food basket for the world. So it's not only looking at that sustainable food supply for India, but how the India can be the food basket for the world. and with more than 10% share in the global agriculture and the allied exports, which will led by the high share of the value added exports. And also the secondly that how that can be the globally competitive, diversified and sustainable agriculture from where the food is going to come, with the food security for the growing population and over 5 times increase in the farmers' income. And also the how can we build, the as the reliable industrial partner for the world, offering high quality food products through technology and innovation excellence and with best in class cost competitive structures. We are so happy to see that many of the Indian companies are today supplying the food to various countries, including the Haldiram. You go to the any country and you will find the Haldiram sweets and the other products are available in the major cities across the globe. So I'm sure so that through such event, the conference like this, uh, the institute is trying to play their part in progressing towards our nation's aspirations. Amity's university's goal emphasizing the importance of empowerment through health, social equity, sustainability, and economic empowerment for all. By focusing on the food science, technology, innovation, sustainability, and health, the university is contributing to the development of self-reliant, healthy, and sustainable food ecosystem, which is essential for achieving our nation's vision. So I was going through the program schedule and can see that this conference is delving into the latest research, trends, and best practices from innovations in alternative proteins and advanced processing to sustainability in food systems and health and the nutrition. As the conference will be exploring these topics, it's important to consider the challenges and ethical consideration that arise. Research is complete, regulatory hurdles, consumer acceptance, and biodiversity impact are just a few of the critical issues that require the attention and the collective actions, and I'm sure those will also be discussed and deliberated during the various sessions of the conference. As a university, we are committed to fostering a culture of innovation, entrepreneurship, and social responsibility. We will continue to support the cutting edge research, industry partnerships, and experiential learning opportunities that prepare the student to tackle the complex challenges of this century. And I'm sure that while discussing, deliberating in various sessions, the students and the participants who are present here, they must take the note of the what the deliberations are happening and how those learnings they can use for their skill development and for the better employability in the industry, or even if starting their own ventures. So I know that in the food technology, many of the students are very keen to start their own ventures, and some want to go for their higher education. And Honorable Founder President have always emphasized the industry academia partnership is extremely important, so that whatever the university is doing the research, that research is translation research, the way the technology can be transferred to the industries and those technologies can be commercialized. Amity University being among the top universities in research and innovation, would like to further strengthen the relationship with the industry, that how we can work together. Once again, I would like to congratulate Dr. Modi and his entire team, and I look forward that my team is working with the industries like Haldiram, and also that how do we involve uh, internal experts and collaborate with them. So, Dr. Bouchle, we will look forward to working with you. And also, I would like to thank Sri Hussain ji for your visit, your participation in this conference, and seek your guidance, and that how we can further enhance our research innovation and contribute to the nation building. Once again, many congratulations and warm welcome to all the dignitaries in the campus. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am, for taking out time from your busy schedule and joining us for the inaugural session. Now, I extend my warm welcome to our respected chief guest, Mr. Shirad Hussain, IAS Advisor Food Processing FICCI, former Secretary Ministry of Food Processing Industries and Department of Agriculture and Cooperation, Ministry of Agriculture, Government of India. He was chairperson and manager director of Food Corporation of India and was vice chancellor of Jamia Hamdard for 5-year term. Later, he was secretary to the Government of India in the Ministry of Food Processing Industries and the Ministry of Agriculture. Sir has authored several research papers on agriculture and rural economy, and his columns on agriculture, food policy, and food processing are regularly published in several reputed publications. At present, he is advisor to FICCI and the trustee of World Food Program, Trust of India. He is professor of practice at the Institute for Development and Communication, Chandigarh, and also chairman of Board of Directors of National Repository Limited. Thank you, sir, for joining the session.
So thank you very much, Dr. Silvamurthy, Chancellor, Professor Modi, and Dr. Monica Thakur. So let me relate today's discussion to you. Now, food technology, this course should not be seen only as a step to finding a job in food industry, because food affects everyone and it is affecting your generation more than the previous generations. So the National Family Health Survey 5 shows that in the age group of 18 to 69, about 23% of men and 24% of women are overweight. And in urban areas, that is people like us, in urban areas, about 30% of men and 33% of women are overweight. Whenever I travel by train or at the airport, I can see this. So the first task of young students who are attending this conference is to take care of your health. And food is an important part of keeping healthy. An ICMR study, a recent ICMR study, you can do Google search later on after I have spoken. So a recent ICMR study showed that some 56% of disease burden is due to unhealthy diets. Therefore, food is very important for the country and for you personally. When I was young, like you, there was no one in our family who was suffering from lifestyle diseases like diabetes, cancer, etc. And today, you would hardly find a family in which someone or the other is not suffering from these diseases. A lot of it is coming from food. So there are 5 themes which I would like to suggest to you to pursue in your studies after attending today's conference and today's lectures. The first is that we should produce enough food and we should produce it safely. The food should not only be sufficient, it should also be safe. The second theme is the production should be done in a sustainable manner. All the speakers have spoken about it. I will also touch upon it in a few lines. The third theme is reduce wastage and food losses. Food losses are considered losses between production by the farmer and the first point of sale. And food wastage is what you and I waste when we have our cup of tea or we have lunch and we take more than what we can consume. That is food wastage. So the fourth is process the food in a nutritious manner. And the fifth and most important is eat healthy, which means everyone who is attending this conference, your generation should be conscious of your health and the role food plays in maintaining good health. Now, at the global level, we produce enough food to meet the requirement of people everywhere in the world. The difficulty is that due to our lifestyles, a substantial quantity of food is now going to produce fuel. About 40% of corn production in the US is used for producing ethanol. It is not going to produce chicken feed or corn to be used as food. It is going for ethanol. About 40% of palm oil production in Indonesia is now going for production of biodiesel. Even in our country, we are following a policy of using food for fuel. So that is how we wanted to achieve this target of 20% ethanol blending of petrol. I have written on this. Please have a look. I do not think our country can afford to use food for fuel. Now, according to the United Nations estimates, by 2050, the world population will increase to 9.7 billion. And Indian population will also keep rising. By about mid-2060s, we will have 1.7 billion people. So we will go up from about 1.4 billion to 1.7 billion. Now, the rate of population growth has come down, no doubt about that. In fact, in the 3 decades after independence, India's population doubled, but since 1980, the population growth has come down. Therefore, we are in a reasonably comfortable position as far as food security is concerned. However, about 13% of global food production is lost at the retail stage. You know, in the Western countries, 1/3 of food production, food consumed by consumers is wasted, is at the consumer end. In India, actually, we do not really know how much food is wasted at the consumer end. There are no serious studies of food wasted by you and I in various conferences, marriages, seminars, birthday parties, etc. But I'm sure you would have all seen the food waste in restaurants or marriages. When you go and keep your plate, you would have seen how much food is going there. Now, as far as the food loss is concerned, which I already mentioned, food losses from producer when the crop is harvested to the first point of sale. So there, unlike the common opinion which you see on television, because television these days is spreading a lot of misinformation. And that misinformation is not only about communal issues. Of course, that takes the peak, but it is also about other things. For example, from time to time, you will hear that 1/3 of food is lost in India. Not true. Our losses are not that high. In fact, if you see the latest NAPCON's study, you would find that the losses are cereals about 4.4%. For both wheat and rice, it is less than 5%. Oilseeds, 4.5%. Eggs, 6%. Pulses, about 6%. And fruits and vegetables, of course, losses are much higher, ranging from 7% to 15%. Fruits and vegetable losses can come down. If people like you will find jobs in food technology industry. You have to develop technologies which can reduce losses in the supply chain from farmer to the first point of sale. Now, this is about the loss business. The second point which I mentioned is producing food sustainably. That is extremely important. And we use, as you would have been reading in the newspapers, we use a lot of fertilizer. Only 1/3 of urea which is applied to a crop is absorbed by the plant. 2/3 goes to the water or the air. It pollutes the underground water. It results in air pollution. So the country has to produce same amount of crop by using less urea. We have struggled in the Ministry of Agriculture. This government has also struggled in the last 10 years to reduce the use of urea, but we have not really found a solution. The reasons are many. You can read about that. If you are interested in this subject, I would suggest you read about that. Now, sustainability in production also means using our water resources prudently. Those of you who are coming from northwestern states of Punjab, Haryana, Western UP would have been reading in the newspapers, and you may have also heard it at home, that the water tables are depleting. Every year the water level is going down, and there is a lot of contamination of the water which is consumed by you and I. Those of you who are coming from eastern India, anyone from West Bengal here? West Bengal, yes. So there is a lot of arsenic in the underground water in West Bengal and parts of Bihar. Water is hugely populated, and that is one reason why the disease burden is so high. So it is very important to find technological solutions for making better use of our water. Now, a very important point which concerns all of you as food technologists, is to process the food in a nutritious manner. As you know, high fat, high salt, and high sugar are responsible for causing lifestyle diseases from which your generation will suffer more than the previous generation. Because I am sorry, you are consuming too much of processed food, you are consuming too much of colas, and there is sugar in almost everything you consume. So, for taking care of your own health, when you find a job with food technology companies, please keep reading about it so that food processing companies use less of sugar, less of fat, less of salt. For about 10 years, the FSSAI has been discussing the labeling of packaged food items. I do not know if you have heard this in your classrooms. Have you heard it in the classroom? Front of label packaging issue? No, you haven't. Madam, please include that in your syllabus, the FSSAI regulations on various items. You see, when you buy food, I hope you read the labels. Do you read the labels? Raise your hand, anyone who read the labels. So please do read the labels and see what is the sugar content per serving, what is the sugar content per 100 grams. For 10 years, food processing industry and the government, FSSAI, have not been able to come to a consensus as to how to label foods. In fact, there are suggestions that foods which are high in salt, fat, and sugar should have a red mark. That is the Australian model. And the food which are not processed, which are minimally processed, etc., should have a green mark. Industry has not agreed for that. So the companies in which you will find jobs, this will be an issue. And those of you who joined regulatory affairs, some of you may be interested in pursuing further studies, some of you may go for law degree, and so on. So those of you who will be in regulatory affairs will face this issue, will be discussing this issue as to how front of pack labeling should be followed in the Indian conditions. And it is not only the organized industry which sells food in packaged form. A lot of people in our country buy food in loose form. So you have mithai shops everywhere. How is the government going to enforce labeling regulations on mithai shops? Will a mithai shop write that this Imarti has so much of sugar and so much of oil? Are they going to write that? When you are having, namkeens, are you going to be concerned about the amount of salt used in that namkeen? So, as I mentioned in the very beginning, aside from your job as a food technologist, take care of these issues for your own health. It is as important as finding a job. Now, several new technologies are emerging for processing of food. They are non-thermal technologies. And their impact on proteins, carbohydrates, lipids, minerals, vitamins, etc., is going to be more positive as compared to the food technologies which we have been using. So I think some companies like Nestle, etc., have very good state-of-the-art research laboratories in India. In fact, I would request you to read about the history of noodles in India. How, this was not a global product. When it was introduced in India, Maggi noodles, it was not a global product. It was researched by Nestle for Indian conditions, and how it has become so popular that I am sure all of you would be consuming, more than the, if I may say so, required or advised quantity of noodles. Now, one more thing which concerns you as a food technologist is the growing problem of plastic waste. I keep traveling between Delhi and Lucknow every month, and in the train I find that there is excessive use of plastic. Everything comes in plastic. Even though the government has come up with regulations for plastics, use of plastics, you will find candy sticks, ice cream, plastic plates, plastic cups, plastic glasses, forks, spoons, knives, etc., everywhere. In every flight I take, sir, I find there is too much of plastic. When we were young, the food did not come in such packaged form. We would buy it loosely, but now everything comes in. So, millets have seen a lot of activity in the last few years. Millets. So, food processing industry, in which you will find jobs, have come up with a number of millet-based products. But let me tell you, many of these products are also coated with sugar. And I keep telling the food processing industry that if you are packaging one millet biscuit in a plastic package, then of course millet is good for health. But how about this plastic package? As you would know, I am sure you know that the plastic packaging will take 100 years or so for disintegration. In fact, your generation should be coming out with biodegradable solutions for packaging. That will be one great contribution of your generation, MIT University, anyone else who is working in this area, to sustainable food production, so that we produce enough food, we produce it sustainably, and we do not harm the environment. Now, my last point is that even though you are studying basically to find a job, but then food is too important to be considered only for employment. Food concerns your health, your parents' health, and when you get married and have children, your children's health. Everything is related to food, and therefore it is very important that we read about food, we gain knowledge about what food we are consuming, where is it coming from, and so on. So recently, in fact, you can do Google search and look at that. There is a 10-minute BBC video, only 10 minutes of BBC video, why the incidence of cancer is rising among young people. Of course, course, it is related to UK. They are not studying Indian situation, but in UK, colorectal cancer has been rising very fast. Even in India, as a child, we had nobody, who was suffering from cancer in our circle. Now you find in every family, you will know at least one person who is suffering. We do not know what is the contribution of food to this. One point which came in that BBC, and this is also relevant for you youngsters, one point which came in that BBC 10-minute video is that one of the possible reasons for growing incidence of cancer among young people could be artificial light. Artificial light and the impact it is having on our sleep. So please, young people, go to sleep early. Do not remain awake till 1 o'clock in the night. And do not tell your parents that you are awake because of studies. Only because I know you are watching too much of video. So thank you very much. I hope the organizers will provide some time for questions and answers. Thank you very much.
Okay. In case anyone have any question, they may ask to sir. Anyone has any questions? Anyone? Okay. So,
Students,
you talked about a very important topic, run-to-label packaging. This needed to be implemented in Indian system. But I think one
take the mic.
but you also get ready for the question.
but one thing that I think because in last semester, my previous team tried to develop some kind of this traffic light system for Indian milk and dairy products packaging to change the packaging according to the basis of Australian system. But the thing is, they have full data and full access to every point from farm to packaging in a database form where they can extract the data and can develop those traffic light system on the front to level packaging. But in Indian system, I am talking about particularly about dairy and dairy product industry. What we face challenge while developing this kind of system is we don't have any rigid database system in India from where we can extract the data from farm to table. We have just nutritional labeling on the packaging with only four data set like energy, protein, carbohydrate, and fat in case of dairy and dairy products. So, is there any solution for the Indian market or for the Indian food technologist and researcher to work upon it so that we can get some kind of data or some kind of information to develop these kind of systems?
Good that you asked. Anyone else? How come the young people have no question?
Yeah.
Anyway, so you are right that front of pack labeling has been under discussion for about a decade now. In fact, several Latin American countries have taken very aggressive steps to enforce labeling on packaging. You must read about it. In Latin America, they have taken very aggressive steps to reduce the consumption of fat, sugar, salt in their packaged food. Now, whether we follow the Australian system or we follow the Latin American system, etc., is a moot point, a point of discussion between industry and the FSSAI. But the real issue is the awareness of the consumer. Because even the current level of information given on pack is quite good. The difficulty is that people do not read the labels. Because, cigarette, for example, has a label that it is injurious to health. And of course, many people are very happy in my iOS batch when I posted, this morning that in Noida, if you buy one bottle of liquor, you are getting one bottle of liquor free of cost. So, health is something, which is entirely up to you.
सर इसी के साथ एक और क्वेश्चन है इसी के
Participants, does anyone have any questions?
Fine, go ahead.
Okay, thank you, sir. I request Selvam sir to kindly felicitate our chief guest with a sapling and a memento. Students, please wait. I extend my warm welcome to invite our dignitaries to kindly come forward and release the souvenir of 8th AMIFOST 2025 and proceedings of 7th AMIFOST 2024 as Scopus Index Children. I request faculties of the ISP to kindly join us on stage. Yogesh sir and Sangeeta ma'am, please kindly join us on stage. Please ma'am, please sir, please ma'am. I request ma'am, please. Sir.
Both the documents are the same thing. Let's start with this.
So we release our souvenir of 5th AMIFOST 2025 and proceedings of 7th AMIFOST 2024 in Scopus Index General. Thank you, faculty, for joining us on stage. I request Selvam sir and HY sir to kindly felicitate our chief guest with a sapling and a memento and with a shawl.
Thank you, sir. Very nice. But you can send these to his.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. I welcome to the dais Dr. Monica Thakur, convener, 8th AMIFOST 2025, for our vote of thanks. A very good morning to everyone present here. It is my great honor and privilege that I stand before you for today on the behalf of organizing team 2025 to extend our heartfelt gratitude to all those who made this inaugural session of 8th AMIFOST International Conference on the Future of Food Science and Technology, Innovations, Sustainability and Health a momentous occasion. Honorable Founder President Dr. Ashok K. Chauhan sir, respected Chief Guest Mrs. Siraj Hussain, keynote speaker of the day Mr. Dr. Malfred Bushell, Honorable Vice Chancellor Professor Balwinder Shukla Madam, respected Dr. Silva Murthy, Head of the Institute Professor V.K. Modi, distinguished delegates, guests, participants, and all their students. We are extremely thankful to Mr. Siraj Hussain sir for his gracious presence at the conference. We have been provided great insights to the theme of the conference. We are grateful to you to take out time from your busy schedule and share your wisdom with us. Your expertise and insights on the topic captivated our audience and left lasting impression on us. We also offer sincere thanks to keynote speaker Dr. Manfred, Managing Director, COG, Germany, for sharing your knowledge with us. Your captivating presentation demonstrated your deep knowledge on the subject. Our heartfelt gratitude is for the motivation from Honorable Founder President Sir. We will not leave any stone unturned to fulfill the dream, make our university and our institute to reach the top of the charts. We also thank our Chancellor, Honorable Dr. Avi Chauhan sir, for his vision. This conference owes thanks to the unwavering support from our respected Honorable Vice Chancellor Madam. Thank you, ma'am. We also extend our sincere thanks to all the participants, researchers, industry leaders who have traveled from near and far to join us, and also the virtual participants. Your engagement and enthusiasm are what make this event truly special, and we look forward to learning from each one of us on the coming days. Our gratitude extends to the sponsors, partners, collaborators, and with whose generous support and commitment that have played a crucial role in the successful organization of this event. Without your partnership, this conference would not have been possible. As we embark on the exciting journey today, let us make this opportunity to engage, collaborate, and explore innovative solutions that will shape the future of food science and technology, ensuring a sustainable and healthy world of generations to come. Thank you all. Wish a very pleasant and fruitful conference to all of you. Thank you once again.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, Dr. Sunay? Yes. Thank you, participants and presenters. Now we will take a break, for lunch break, and then we will resume for our technical session 1 and 2 in the same block F2 auditorium within this block only. Presentation tags, they can connect from the registration desk. Okay, from there we will be getting these tags. These students, when participants, presenters, we will review within the same auditorium